Hi everyone, my name is Tegan and welcome back to TandeWrites, where today we're going to be wrapping up my year in indie publishing. I made a video like this last year, and that one was a lot more exciting because I had a book come out, and a lot of things were happening with that book. So I'm going to say, spoiler alert, kind of an underwhelming year, but still things worth talking about. Let's go vaguely chronological. My year started in March, 3 months into the year, and this is where the blog tour for the BBMYA, which is the Book Bloggers Novel of the Year Award, took place for my book, Paper Forests, which came 12th in the award season / 2023 awards? 2023 awards, I'm losing track of time now. And a blog tour is basically where a group of bloggers get together and team up, and they just stop on a specific day. They will post reviews and spotlights about your book. And this is a very special thing to know that I think it's between like 10 to 20 people. The one that happened for me was, well, it's the equal mix of people actually posting reviews about my book, and then others who are posting like their own photos and graphics and just a description of the book with links to purchase and read. But the fact that people reading my book, and I'm someone, I could not care less if you liked my book or not, but the fact that it makes you feel something strongly enough that you write words and write a review for it is very special to me. I imagine many people, obsessively sit there and refresh my Goodreads stats to see if it changes. And sometimes it does, and I don't care if my rating goes down. It's like, wow, someone read my book. That's very exciting to me. So this is where I'll talk about my stats for the year as well, because this took place in March. I'll say I don't think I made any sales from this blog tour, because I think that's what a lot of people are interested in. But as someone who is notoriously terrible at even mentioning I have a book half the time, I didn't make the most of this opportunity to promote or do a sale of my book at the same time. I'll just sit there reblogging and retweeting oh my god, people are reading my book, this is so exciting. But the one thing I did get from this blog tour, other than a lot of love from the community, was an increase in my Goodreads stats. So when I made this video this time last year, I had 18 ratings, 17 reviews, and 78 on Want to Read. And this time this year, it's pretty much doubled. So we're up to 43 ratings, 36 reviews, and 157 people have added it to their TBR. And I'm happy with that. Again, for a book that I don't promote, I rely on literally entering competitions and hoping people post positive things about me. That's good. Well, I say it's good. It's something that I'm very happy about. Also because I was convinced that I'm not sure how long a book's lifespan is. For me, I think a book comes out and after a year I forget about it, I don't care anymore. So the fact that the book came out a year in August, so it's been a year and a half now, and it's still got a little life left in it. I got another review coming the other day, and I was like, oh my god, people still care. Which I can't tell if it's sad or not to talk about, but blog tour, very special to me, very happy to be part of it, and I am a judge for this year's awards, so I will hopefully be giving people this year that very special moment. Another thing I wrote down on this list is in August I finally finished the first draft of the book affectionately referred to as Best Friend Whip, also known as There Will Be Other Summers, which I made a few videos about specifically this year on the channel. And I finally finished that draft, which is something that I've been working on and off for 7 or 8. I say 7 or 8, I think we ended up concluding it's almost 9 years now. And this is notable because I'm going to start querying this book to try and get it traditionally published early 2025, maybe by my birthday. It's got to go through another draft and some beta readers first. But this would be a process that I will be documenting because I know how gatekeepy the publishing community is, and I want to have more accessible information about that for everyone. That's going to be happening. But also, if it doesn't score me an agent, I still want to self-publish this book. So again, maybe next year we'll be talking about self-publishing another book. So we will have more things to talk about in Indie Wrapped. So yeah, keep an eye out for that stuff. And now we go into the Paper Forest section, as we did predominantly last year's Indie Wrap was about my book Paper Forests. So what we have this year is, first of all, 2 new editions. Wow, sounds terrible. What I originally had was published through Ingram Spark. There is a hardcover and a paperback. Well, hardcover, paperback and the ebook are the main 3 editions. And they are now the special edition ones. And this year I've released a standard edition paperback. This one comes out just through Amazon, just through KDP. And the main differences are, does not have the pretty blue pattern inside the cover. It's a little bit shorter because it does not include the short story at the end either. So basically, just things that make a lovely, more affordable option of this book, just a standard paperback. Because the fancy edition, I think I had to sell it for £10.99 to make some kind of profit from it, and it's a very little profit because Ingram Spark, as much as I love how customizable you can make the books, similar to if you use expanded distribution on Amazon, on KDP, they take a big cut. So, Amazon edition, this one I can sell for £8.99 and make a couple of pounds profit, which is a lot nicer. So we've got a slightly less fancy edition of Paper Forests, a little bit more affordable, a little more fun, still blinding white, because I love the contrast that it does on my images. So yeah, new edition is the standard paperback exclusively through Amazon. And then on the same listing for that one, there will be a hardcover, and it'll be this hardcover here, which is again exclusively through KDP, which is white like this case laminate. There's no dust jacket on this one. And this is the large print edition. Again, the book I'm working on, Best Friend Whip, features a blind character and a deaf character. So I thought this year I'm going to make the most of trying to work out how to make my books as accessible as possible for visually impaired and hearing impaired people. So for visually impaired, we now have the lovely large print edition. I think it's got to be size 16 point font. So you can see here, it is notably different to, where's the first page of this one? So this one, you can see, like, yeah, text a little bit bigger. And I just wanted to see now, basically how difficult, if I'm still self-publishing my next book, how difficult it is to have all the accessible formats. I tried to make it as cheap as possible because I'm not expecting anyone to actually buy these again because we're a year post-release, and I don't know if there's much demand or like really any. Well, there's going to be some demand for large print editions. Me personally, as a very small indie author, no one's wanting my books in more formats. But that brings me on to a project I've been working on for a couple of months this year. I say I've been working on it, I've been taking mostly a back seat, but Paper Forest is going to have an audiobook version coming out January 16th. And again, I'll have a whole separate video to talk about that process because I think, again, needs to be more information out there for indie authors, self-published authors on how to make audiobooks. I got ebooks on the brain now. So that is currently up for pre-order in like select stores. It's taking a very long time. Like I set it to go live for pre-order end of October, end of September. Either way, longer than the 30 days it says it will take to reach all stores. So seeing what's happening there. But we'll talk about that soon. But again, in my quest of accessible reading, audiobook version coming soon. Let's circle back to not the BBMYA awards, but awards in general. Paper Forest, I don't think I've actually entered, like paid entry for any competitions this year, but ones that I entered end of last year have been announced this year. So Paper Forest has 2 more accolades, which is a semi-finalist in the Indies Today Awards in 2023 and a finalist in the SPR Book Awards. And these are both awards where you enter, all you win, unless you're like the winner, is just like a listing on a blog post. You don't get like a lovely review like some of the ones I got last year. Which brings me around to, basically I've learned a lot through the competition process. In summary, extreme summary, is that if I enter my next book into awards, it will be ones where you get like a guaranteed review, because a lot of them do offer guaranteed reviews, whether or not the judges like your book. And I think it's definitely more beneficial for you to pay that entry fee and get a little something, a little guaranteed something out of it, than paying money. Because a lot of them, if you don't win, even if you do win, a lot of them don't contact you in any way. They expect you to have memorized, written down the date, and like obsessively check their website. And I think like the minimum they can do is send a reminder email around. So yeah, I'm going to focus on entering competitions where you get something out of it, a substantial physical something, rather than just a listing on the blog post. And I wish I could provide some insight into how these awards have affected my stats or my sales in any way, but I'll just say honestly straight up, I don't think they have. Except I do have some lovely quotes to put on the front of my books. And the final thing of note this year is Paper Forest is in the library somewhere in this country. That's a lie. I know exactly where Paper Forest is, but my first book, Beauty and the Breakdown, is somewhere in this country. Because I recently learned from, I think it was Alice Sutherland Hawke on TikTok, who is an agent that I follow obsessively, because again, provides a lot of content about the traditional publishing and the agenting and the query side, which is the gatekeeping of the publishing industry. So it's been very insightful to learn more about this like inside knowledge as I'm about to embark on my querying journey. But she made a TikTok saying, if you're an author, whether it's indie or self or traditionally published, if you want to make money off libraries, you have to sign up, at least in the UK. I haven't worked out what the US equivalent is, or like international equivalents. But in the UK, you have to sign up to this thing called Public Lending Right, or PLR, and it's part of the British Library website. Because yeah, I can track when my ebooks are like loaned from libraries, but I can't for my physical books. Because it just marks as like, oh, someone's bought your book, and that's it. So you sign up for this website, and I have learnt that somewhere in the country, my first book is out in the world. I seem so shocked by this, but the library only, the website only shows stats for like specific regions, and my region, like the entire southwest of the UK, doesn't report its stats to this website. So that means somewhere that's not anywhere near me has a physical copy of my first book, and I'm so sorry. And I do have some stats about this, a little bit of info. It's not made any movement in a while, so this isn't technically like TandeWrites 2024 updates, but I want to share a little bit. My first book, Beauty and the Breakdown, has, I think, been taken out of libraries 84, I think 84 was the number times, between 2018 and 2021. So this book came out in 2017. So it's an average of 28 loans per year, which I think is like once every 2 weeks. And like if a library loans like 2 weeks, my book's just constantly in and out of a library somewhere. And I can't wrap my head around this at all. Yeah, not sure what to think about this, but somewhere out in the world, my book exists. And if you are an independent author, or I think even if you are a traditionally published author, sign up for getting your library stats and making money off your books. And also, yeah, Paper Forest has been in a library. I'll put a clip over my face now. I go on my library website. I say pretty regularly, and just like type in my name and see if somewhere has a physical copy of my book. And then vaguely recently, it popped up and said, oh, you're not my local library, but a library in my area has it. So I went on a little quest and I found it. And I mentioned a little bit about this at the end of it must have been the end of one of my monthly reading wrap-up videos. But it's just, again, so exciting to see my book in its ugly little plastic jacket, and it's never looked more beautiful to me. So yeah, very short indie wrapped this year. Not much, actually no publishing has happened, but a few things to talk about. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully next year I'll have a lot more to talk about, and throughout the year there will be some kind of content talking about indie publishing, mostly the audiobook will be happening soon. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!